What up? What up? Namaste and like hits, my family, and welcome to a little morning coffee with your host here, Rion. A lot of amazing things going on out there in not only on this planet, but in the cosmos, in the galaxy. I noticed a lot of the stuff I wanted to share. What's up? With you guys is the following. So, let me explain what's been going on in Dreamtime for the past week. And I'll explain it to you guys because I think a lot of you guys I see on ship or I see on these missions. So imagine speed of consciousness, right? So check this out. Imagine once you graduate your specific level of what you need to process in the physical. Like imagine you're in a high school class, then you're in college, then you get your degree, and now you're teaching in other people's high school English classes, senior year, right? So what I feel I'm doing is basically imagine a large movie theater. I'm with 3 or 4 people, my guides and a couple other guys doing the same job. Imagine every single theater that you walk into is a different simulation program with a different group of people from a different sector or area on this planet that are also in the ascension waking process. And I was literally going into people's dream times in groups. So imagine I'm entering into your, say for example, in theater number 1 is Chicago. Theater number 2 is Los Angeles. Theater number 3 is New York. Theater number 4 is New Zealand. Theater number 5 is Sydney. So imagine each city is a different territory on this planet. I was literally walking in with this group, going into the movie theater, boom, I'm in someone else's simulation in a different territory, assisting, negotiating, assisting, right? And I was in there for what it felt in Earth time was about 8 minutes. In 4th dimensional, 5th dimensional time, probably 3.5 hours per theater. And then I would go back to the hallway and I'm in another theater room. And then I'd do that again and I'm in another theater room. So I was actually going to multiple jump points around the planet, and there's a group of us doing this. I just wanted to share you may be one of these beings, right? Or these galactics down here, or angelics, or starseeds, or inner Earth Gaia's kids, whatever it is, angelic beings, golden-hearted beings. You might be in simulation programs where you don't recognize anybody, but instead of me like in a program where, they basically are trying to teach you something, and for example, they give you a time marker. For example, you're in dream time, and there's people in your dream that you haven't seen, like there's friends from high school. That means instantly, when was the last time you were in high school? Okay, I was in high school, say 10, 20 years ago. Okay, that's my time marker of what I'm processing right now as I'm moving forward to the present moment. You can either go, towards the past or away from the past. But what I'm trying to say is energy and consciousness is always in flux. 3D is very funny because we perceive time as, linear. In the 5th dimensional construct, everything is happening right now. Lemuria is right now. Atlantis is right now. The Nile River is flowing beautifully with palm trees and date trees right now. So what I'm trying to get to is that some of you guys I'm seeing working, and you guys are working very diligently on operational controls inside of people's different simulations. But we are actually like, for example, imagine this is everyone you grew up with, and this is your collective consciousness in your town. 1 or 2 or 3 you guys wake up. You're now accessing a higher grid of energy with your higher selves. Now here comes ground crew. That's what this video is called, Operation Ground Crew. Ground crew guys are now interacting in your simulation inside of your village or town of consciousness, and we're helping you help all of your friends and family very, very quickly. Okay? That's been happening. Okay, another speed to pay attention to. Whew! Okay, that was one of the simulations. That was important. The next simulation that's important right now to be monitoring and viewing with your own graduating functions is this. I want you guys to remember that I want to see you guys at graduation. I like to call it Ascension graduation. I'm not this Law of One, the harvest, blah, 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 My thing is this, 1981 channeling, I was incarnated in 1981. And check it out, let's just be honest with some of these things down here. There have been some shifts in our timeline probability matrix based on CERN and some of the different things that the Anshar are feeling in inner Earth and why they're in a time bubble, function. They're not anymore, mind you. They're fully engaged in assisting us, and inner Earth is fully engaged in assisting us with the sphere being alliance and some of the other things that are going on in our spheres and around our sun that are basically buffering that solar activity, let's just say, as basically the universe is, rebooting this cycle of consciousness and frequency as our biological systems, or, I'd like to call it our firmware updates, are being adapted from our white star, which used to be yellow and orange, which is now slamming into us in different high-level gamma functions and different, types of energy, which is activating dormant DNA that hasn't been a frequency for in, say, 20, 30, 40, 100, 150, 200,000 years. So imagine a signal coming from the sun that hasn't come from our sun in 100,000 years. What is that going to do if the suit's still operational walking the planet? Hence, I'm not talking about an angelic soul or a starseed coming into this planet like a comet to be of service and then growing one of these suits, because that's the suits that were available on the surface when we got here. I'm talking about the actual maximum potential of that vessel in that codex to activate their dormant DNA with or without, right, some of those clearance levels necessary for control. Imagine being here and going, I don't really speak this language, but I know how to drive that car. So this is what it's like, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine you're the best NASCAR driver or F1, or, I saw that movie, Ford and Ferrari. Check this out. You're a starseed from a different planet, and you're one of the best drivers in your whole sector. You show up to this planet, maybe you can't, maybe you haven't driven on these streets before. Maybe you don't know all the laws and regulations and how fast you can go. But let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. You get us behind the wheel of a car or a transport or a vessel or a suit, we know how to drive. Okay? Some of this psionic adaptivity, too, for some of these vessels that work with a basic level of consciousness. For example, if you step foot in a spacecraft, let's just say, sometimes there won't be a control panel or a steering wheel. Where's the brake? Where's the accelerator? No, bro, you just sit in the chair. The old school ones have the two metal pivots that go right through your shoulder blades, like the Matrix, and you jack in. And the entire screen, or the entire vessel, which is a biological function of the higher level of creation from our galaxy, where, for example, I don't know how I know this, but I know it takes 2 souls in Orion to run 1 tank. I know it takes, now when I say a soul, I'm saying a consciousness. The bigger the compartmentalized function of it, the larger the structure, right? Almost like Voltron. Voltron is a huge, awesome being, right? It takes 6 operators to drive 1 Voltron. So I'm trying to express to you guys with these spaceships, they are sentient and alive, because that doesn't mean they don't need a life form to run them. They are the life form that you're operating with them. And again, the cadence to understand what some of these upper dimensional consciousnesses are, especially with the David Adair that I saw on Gaia, right? When he was talking about this ship that they had at Groom Lake, Area 51, back in 1972, that had the quantum fusion reactor, as soon as he said, yo guys, where did you get this? He goes, there's no seams, no bolts, no nothing. This ain't from here. But when he said this is when my memory chimed in. This thing is like a whale, but that sleeps in deep orbit between galaxies. This ship is billions of years old, and this is her name. Instantly when I heard that, something went ding, 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 ding. Like, it was like, I can't express it to you. If you guys watch Gaia, watch the new on Cosmic Disclosure, watch the stuff with, it was Emery interviewing him. His last name's Adair. I love that guy. He's like the Rocket Man. But everything was kind of cool, and that's all perspective. But when he said it's like a deep whale that's so old, it lives in deep space between the galaxies, something in me went, whoa, that sounds really, really familiar. What is that? Right? Something inside of me. What's really difficult for some of us being here is this. When you actually remember who you are, or little pieces, well, imagine every single piece you remember is something not only not from this place, this dimension, but it's so far outside of what you ever have seen with these biological eyeballs seeing at 30 frames per second, your imagination cannot imagine it. I want to express something to you. Some of the stuff when you will see when your third eye comes on is so outside of what this little chemical computer, right, can actually conform or create. Not mind's eye meditation, not out of body or OBE, but you're awake, you're meditating, you're on an airplane, you close your eyes, you're staring through your third eye, you're seeing the entire grid as you're flying over a city, and your huge ass highest light and highest night self are actually pacing next to the airplane, looking at you going, what up? I'm like, dude, I'm not used to you jogging. What's our cruising altitude? He's like, hey, if you go around, 300, 400 miles an hour, I gotta go into a light jog. Like I'm a valet going to get your car. It's a light jog, right? So what I'm trying to say for you guys is this. People that try to compartmentalize what you will see when your third eye comes on, you can't express or imagine the viewing screen of everything you don't know and then call it your imagination. This is simply a lens, and I am staring at what's going on. And I think that's real for some of you guys too, especially you guys that work the ley lines and the grids. When some of you gifted guys out there can stare at a mountain range, zoom into the mountain range, see where the water aqueducts cross, see where the energy comes through in the ley lines, and some of you guys' eyes have changed their colorization, pixelization function, where you can actually see the slight differences in the fauna and the color of the trees. I can spot an energetic ley line now by a zoomed out Google map by staring at the slight differences in the color of the trees as it runs down the canyons all the way into the ocean and into the trough. What I'm getting to is the slight variations of detail that actually make the whole picture blow up in front of you once you know what to look for. Okay. Morning. Good morning. All right, now that we're here, I know I'm a little late. I've been working on a masterpiece downstairs for my brother. I made him a pyramid, and it's just, I am a perfectionist, and I know many of you guys out there are perfectionists in your own right. We're starseeds, we're angelics. We put our best foot forward. I was pouring a pyramid till midnight last night, and then I woke up and started sanding. I don't know, there's something about putting hard work in, especially staying really busy and focused, when all this energy out there in the consciousness is going cray-cray. The stuff on the news, I don't know what's going on. Is he impeached? Is he not impeached? Are we at peace? What is this? I can't control any of that stuff. I can observe it, but here's what I want to share with you from my heart. When it's crazy town out there and you're driving home from work and you feel the energy on the freeway and you feel the energy as soon as you step out of work and you're feeling all that woogie dude and you're like, oh my God, what is going on out here? The only thing I've learned that I can control in my life, right, where I can feel at peace and at home is as follows. How clean is my temple? When I come home, does it look like temple space? Does it smell like ambrosia and frankincense and dragon's blood? Are the dishes washed? Is the sink clean? Is the bathroom clean? Does it look like literally it's an Airbnb place that I'm walking into? Is my car cleaned like it's a rental? Are my clothes clean? Is my manicured? My toenails, my haircut, everything. My skin lotions, my vitamins, my smoothies, my gym time. Can I go to the gym, to my sacred temple space, and just disappear and be safe for 2 hours? I can't tell you guys how many times it's been a full moon in Sedona. It could be Saturday, it doesn't matter what day it is. I get to the gym at 7:30, I'm working out, and when I'm in the steam room or sauna by myself at 8 o'clock, 8:30, our gym shuts at 9, so there's no one in there. And I'm taking a shower, and my guides go, hey, you're safe, good job. You don't have to feel all this weird purging stuff because you're in your zone doing what you're supposed to do to calm and balance yourself. I also pay attention to all the broadcasting and network stuff and the stuff playing on Netflix and all these different channels. Listen to me. I have never seen more weird programming in my life. There's some weird disease popping off in Hong Kong and the whatever it's called. And then I go on Netflix and the number one show. Watch this show, Pandemic. I don't know who's behind the wheel in some of these things. But let me tell you something. If this is one of the faces you're going to stare at, and then tell me you did your best to help humanity, and you're one of these producers or these jagaloons behind the scenes doing all this stuff, scaring people, there is a judgment coming for you that I cannot fathom, but I can tell you it will come with a smile. It's not going to be weird. It's not going to be like scary. And I go, hi, yeah, check it. You're definitely going back down there for another 3 lives. Have a great time. There's not going to be but maybe Next time, I'm like, no, that's a 3-sentence minimum goodbye. Why? The rest of us are going to be partying, living La Vida Loca, in Paradiso, up in 5D. All these little jagaloons we can watch like they watch us in the viewing towers. Oh my God, what are they doing down there now, Daddy? We're not going to be in the same place with these kids, with these guys doing this weird stuff. If you do weird stuff and you're a part of that weird frequency and you're not balanced and you're in charge of literally creating content for a planet where little kids are going to watch and you think your actions and your productions don't matter, let me express something to you. That is the same sort of ignorance that blindsides people when they're in judgment with 12 guys in front of you in white robes, and they go, let's pull up the last 15 years of your life on the Blu-ray. Boom. So you say you're a good person, you deserve to graduate. Let's check out some of this. This content you made was seen by 158 million children. Out of this percentage, 30 million got nightmares. Out of the 30 million that got nightmares, this stayed with their consciousness for the next 15 years. So right now, you're looking at least 1,000 years of recompense for what you created based upon a paycheck you received to push a button and say this is for children. You guys, upstairs, it's so much more logical and fast, I cannot even begin to express it to you. No one is confused upstairs. This is the land of free will and sovereign right. Listen, you make adult content, it's adult content. That's why there's the rating system. I just think that these guys need to pump the brakes. Everyone on this earth right now, I'd like to see 50% positive content to the 50% negative content. Okay? I turn on the news, it looks like a damn infomercial for fear porn. I can't do it. It makes my stomach turn weird. So here's what I'm trying to say. Let's put this in the collective consciousness. From Sedona, from one of the most, your activated brother out here with you guys, check it. Why can't we have an hour of good news every day globally? Every day in Fox from 6 to 7, it's the hour of positive news. All of the stories that you want to hear about all of the heroes and their day-to-day belief systems making this world a better place every single day. 7 days a week, 1 hour a day, positive content. Why is that so much to ask for on this planet? 1 hour a day, from 7 to 8. Check it, your ratings will go up because people will just chime in to go, what's the positive stuff that happened today? I want to know. Who saved a koala? Who's riding a dolphin? Some guy surfed next to an orca whale? I want to see it. Hour a day, positive news. Turn this little Gerber baby food fear sauce off. The adults on this planet watching are getting bored. And you wonder why your higher selves aren't talking to you. They're like, what do you want me to say? You're watching like sci-fi porn. This is like fear porn. I don't know what to tell you. There's nothing positive that you're going to grow from watching this programming. So, there you go. I recommend for the whole planet, we need 1 hour on some news channel that gets it. Hey, with your own money, so you're not pulling in paychecks from some of these guys of the 6 conglomerates that own all the news stations. But when this new wealth is released on the surface of this world, I can promise you this, our kids will never know your name or these news agencies ever existed. That I can promise you. You won't even make it to the history books once everyone finds out all this weird stuff that's taking place. You'll never want to repeat it. It'll be like talking about weird stuff from World War II. It's there, but no one really wants to dive into it. We kind of worked that shit out. Please stop bringing it up and making old movies about it. It's just like, it's awkward. Okay? Just trying to be real. So, I recommend an hour of positive news across the planet every single day. Whatever news agency on the surface of this world that wants to do it, I would love to punch in and watch it because I would really enjoy that. Okay? Just trying to be honest. You can't have 100% negative shit. I don't know what that is. I don't know. Again, a lot of the negotiations upstairs, let's be honest. Me just being here observing this with you guys right now, a lot of beings are starting to go, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yeah, we're not like brought in on ship. I'm born and raised in the South Bay, California. I got kindergarten, preschool. I am a human being here. I went through all the high school lessons with all you guys. All the college lessons, the breakup, the heartbreak, the party like a rock star in my 20s. I did it all with you. I love you all. I've been exactly where you guys are. I've been there. And probably even worse. Some of you guys I have sessions with, I'm like, look, You're awesome. I'm way worse. I had to do a lot more. I had to stack a lot more dharma just to get out of where I was, okay? But what I'm trying to tell you is this. This content for the children and new generations to come is more important than me or you or anyone. It's how we are viewed by the entire solar system, galaxy on, wow, look how they treat their children. That's what's up. Why did it take 300 years for us to actually figure out what's going on? What is this? What I can tell you what slowed us down is some upper dimensional and different species negotiations and different terms that took place in contractual law for the surface and vying for the surface of this world. It was so contractual. Let me tell you how I know this. I've stared at many beings higher selves, and I still to this day do not understand how they actually got to a 6-dimensional space. Or you're actually an 8-dimensional being. You're horrible. And you're a shitty parent. How did you even get there? And this is what I realized. Real talk from your brother. Whatever went down on this planet 10, 20, 50, 100,000, 100, 200,000, 300,000 years ago, you got pyramids in China. They're 20 million years old with water pipes going into water. Google million-year-old Chinese pyramid with water pipes going into the lake. Check it. I don't know what time frame they do, but that's what I can express to you. A lot of beings were upgraded to a higher dimension, not because of their own valor or merit, but it was more of a negotiation of terms of two sides not fighting anymore. So they didn't earn it. It was kind of like a bump up to stop battling on the surface. Okay? So I'm just trying to say for you guys, there's a rhyme and a reason why we feel like we're pulling an ox cart and it gets really heavy sometimes. I'm here to tell you, some of your guys' higher selves are lazier than you are. Real talk. I've caught some of these guys' higher selves. I'm like, aren't you up in the vessel right now? It's like, check this out. This is what it's like. Imagine having a dad and a stepdad. Now imagine you have a father, okay? And you think the father is at work, helping you pay for the house and paying for your college tuition. All of a sudden you get in the car and you go to Vegas and you see your dad in 3 strip clubs and lost $50,000 gambling. And you go, I thought you were working on yourself and becoming a better person and so you could help me. I thought you're my higher self on the night side. I thought you had my back. And he's going, yo, homie, I serve myself. And like, that'll hit you straight in the face like, oh my God. Whoa, that's gnarly, right? This duality game was set up in a manner, light's on your left, night is on your right, at all times. But I'm trying to say how the night side truly operates is this. They're not going to do anything for you unless you have something to do or exchange with them. You go pick up my soul piece, I'll pop your collar off. If you do this, based upon contractual law, I have to obligate, I have to give this back to you. Now, the light side is like a kombucha salesman from Ojai. Hey, you want to buy a kombucha? Here's another kombucha on me. On me. I love you. Keep it up, kid. Here's some Palo Santo. You can, you'll smell good and you drink your kombucha. Night side is Wolf of Wall Street. Okay? Why do you think all the weird thoughts come from the right side of your brain? Over here. I can't believe she did it. No way. We should raise the prices on the pharmaceuticals. They don't. Listen, this is all want. You're never gonna graduate if you listen to this. I'm an upper dimensional being sitting in a casual South Bay Sedona suit going, I love you guys, check it. This isn't going to graduate. The love from your left-hand side and your heart is what gets you up. You're going to be passing tests that your 4th dimensional version never did. So are you going to be able to leapfrog past some of these people? Absolutely. We dropped down from a higher dimension. So say our bottom floor was 5D or 7D or 9D. We stepped down 2 or 3 floors just to interact in this game. You think it's difficult for us when we exit out of here to skip 4D or 6D? Ladies and gentlemen, no. For those who are here working the real ground crew on this planet, we are here during the Great Transition to assist our family, soul family, our brothers and sisters on the surface of this world, above and below, to harmonize and balance everything that's going on here for not only the great planetary ascension, but we're down here learning lessons plans that you could take me after this incarnation, drop me off on another planet, hopefully with my own ship, my own outfit, and my own vacation. Whenever I want to, I can just bounce, right? And we could bounce other civilizations going through a 3D to 3rd density to 4th density, right? That's the flesh, that's the firmware, or a 3D consciousness to a 5th dimensional consciousness. 2 separate functions there. So a 3D TV, channel 4, channel 5, channel 6, channel 7, channel 8 as it goes. A 4th dimensional, 4th density television, right? Then you also have the channels, but they're in a higher, or I say less dense, or more high speed, low drag frequency that, here's the thing, you have to be at this low density to forget who you are. So it's a very slippery slope. If you remember too much, what's your soul gonna learn? If you remember too much, what's your inner child gonna learn when you've seen everything down here and you feel like you're 1,000 years in the past just pretending every day? You're supposed to make this game feel real, and I'm learning stuff, and hard work pays off, and what are you doing the whole time? Whatever comes at you, how do I stabilize this? Whatever weird emotion, for example, from work, the government, social media, boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever's coming at you, you're playing ping pong going, got you, got you. In the beginning, you're like this playing ping pong, you're just getting hit with the ping pong balls. Where's it coming from? I can't, I feel it, I'm crying. All of a sudden you open your third eye and you're like, oh, what's up, homie? Boom, boom, boom. You start doing this in your field, right? You become a foundational structure in the field of balance, strength, and stability. Then, guess what happens? You get a higher level of tests as you graduate 3D. So, I just wanted to share that with you guys, give you guys some, some perspective on what's going on over here. I love you guys. I want you to know I'm in school right with you guys every single day. I go downstairs or I'm upstairs in front of the sun. Today I went downstairs, sat in my chair in the sun, talking to my higher selves. And the issue is that, instead of listening to high school teachers when I have questions, imagining talking to planetary guardian, galactic level beings. No disrespect to our higher selves. Imagine right now, you're like, my 5D, my 4D, my 6D, all right guys, teach me. Imagine going outside and talking to your highest light, going, son, how are you feeling right now? Is it too many simulations in a row? What is the readout of your vessel? How is your cortisol levels in your vessel? Are you stressed? Are you working out? Is this too much work? Please let me know so I can schedule your, how many people at night you want to help. It's like a higher level of understanding. It's, you know what I mean? And you find that within yourself. Everything you need is in here. Everything you need is in here. Okay? I just want you to know, that's just me by myself. Drop the mic. I don't need all this things because I just close my eyes and I meditate in my third eye and I'm talking to my higher self. But here's the issue. If you spend too much time in that space, like a yogi that parks himself in a cave and like a taxi and ejects into a mountain and leaves his body like a car parked in the garage, you're not really helping humanity. You're escaping into a space where you don't have to be in the suit. Now, here's the issue. If you learned that trait, came out of the cave with galactic, cosmic, inner earth wisdom, and then shared it with the masses, I love you. However, if you take all that knowledge, you go hide in a hut up in the mountain, you have one friend and a deer, how is that helping everyone? Another expression to you. 200,000 or 300,000 Tibetans recorded have gone rainbow body. 10 years of positive thoughts, diet, and all this stuff. Let me explain something to you. This is what a master is, and this is what I really wanted to express for all you guys working on your own staying positive stuff. So 200,000 or 300,000 documented cases of Tibetans going rainbow body. That Buddha nature, by the way, love you. Lord Siddhartha, you're the man. Padmasambhava Baba, you're the man. Now check it. To go rainbow body with me and you, imagine me and you are at 15,000 feet up in the Himalayan mountains. We don't even know what a road looks like. Or, you know what I mean? We're up there in robes eating yak milk. You know what I mean? Of course everyone in our village can levitate and fly, right? Here's the issue. To go rainbow body in that state is that state with that amount of consciousness or reflection leaning against you. Now try to go rainbow body in the United States or in Europe or in Australia right now. You have to hold every single positive thought. Plus, what are you observing in the environment? What are you listening to? Are those sirens going by? Is that a helicopter overhead? Everything around us is a distraction. Is that Wi-Fi going through my energy field? Is that a cell phone tower going through my energy field? Is that a smart meter frequency going through my field? What is that? To be able to have a positive thoughts in this density, and you guys put your best foot forward every day, that is the walk of a master. Doing it in density almost already means in past lives, we did it up in the mountains. Many of you guys have memories of monks, right? I definitely have wore the red robes, okay? It was like, I felt like I was like one of the monks in like Doctor Strange. I was like one of the old school gangster guys with like the long beard, you know, like, oh, almost like the Kill Bill master. You know, like that guy's like, oh, you want to learn something. What I'm trying to get to is this. To have all of those skill sets in meditation now, access that in your dormant DNA in your past lives, bring that forth now, and understand that having positive thoughts changes your frequency, raises your frequency to a higher allowance of that galactic, upper dimensional, higher dimensional frequency to course through you, because now you've turned your receiver on. Once you're aware that there's higher levels of dimensions of awesomeness above you, you just turn that receptor on, and all of a sudden your dormant DNA goes, well, I've been waiting your whole incarnation. I got 2. Really born to 3. Kids right now, you can look at it right now. There's kids being born right now with 3 and 4 strain DNA, factual, okay? But for all of us activating our dormant DNA right now, I'll teach you a little, I'm going to end with a little secret that I learned and I want to share with you. So check it. So, imagine your telomeres, right, are these Wi-Fi etheric cables that connect your 3D vessel consciously to upper dimensions in your higher selves through the mind controls, not the heart or your chakras, separate subset of control mechanisms to operate through your chemical computer. So, what I'm trying to say is imagine 3 strands going up through your crown. You got 2 strands, 2 DNAs activated, you got 3, 7, whatever that is, right? And it goes up from there. Imagine these strands coming up like a crown going up. Now, when these strands come up, some of these things can be cut. You know, an EMF pulse from a smart meter at 3 in the morning sends out a wave that tries to cut your telomeres in half. A telomere is also a way you can date a human. The longer the telomeres, the longer the human being has to live on this earth. The shorter the telomere, right? It's almost like a timer. Dun, 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 time to exit. So, keep those telomeres long. So check this out. Once your crown is up and out and you're in a nice meditative state, right? Try this. Take your center, right, that golden or silver thread that comes out of your sternum, but rotate your energy left to right, left to right, left to right. Try to weave all of your crown access points into one huge tree knot or one huge piece of rope. Guess what? One huge piece of rope, you can't cut it with an EME pulse or any of this weird stuff coming in. It's too thick. Individually, like strands of hair, absolutely. But now if you weave it into a strand, once you weave that like the roots of a great sequoia tree vertically, you weave everything into that golden knot. And what I'm working on right now for you guys is calling down, there's a word for it, but it's called the rainbow. I'd call it like the rainbow patch, but it's actually the rainbow spectrum. It's the rainbow. It's a galactic radio disc. It's not just about the rainbow of the visible colors in our spectrum. It takes many very powerful beings to work together and in tandem. Imagine all of you and all of your higher selves manage one color spectrum. Now imagine 30 color spectrums, 30 people, and then you have to weave all of that together into one projection field for one true source creator function to actually access from great distance, but very close at the same time, to actually have maximum impact on the surface of this world. It's like calling dad. You're like, Dad, Mom, Grandpa, Grandma. Yeah, I've been down here for like 30 plus years, man, and I've seen enough. Can you just come down here and drop a foot on this place? No, they're telling them that they're half monkey. They're telling them that, you know, there's only one guy. I don't know what they're teaching them down here. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to help them activate their chakras. I'm trying to tell them that they have a chemical computer to access their heart. I'm trying to tell them to step their game up. I'm trying to tell them not to listen to Debbie Downer stuff on TV. It gives you weird dreams. Change your diet. Stop eating animals. All right. Coming in hot. Like, I want to call my older brothers like, yo, bro, can you guys get over here? This is starting to get hilarious. Like, I don't know, what this is for us. At some point, I lost my malice. But what I'm trying to say is my wisdom or my depth is growing exponentially. So the less little weird things I have controlling my mind to be Debbie Downer, the more my soul goes, womp, womp, womp. So what I'm trying to say is staying out of that fear, that pain, the shame, the guilt game. That's a lower dimensional. Get it off you. You guys want to, blossom into a beautiful lotus flower, whatever sunflower of your choice. Come from your heart. Understand that once you take responsibility for something, you now have the power to change it. You just took the candy away from the kids and said, hey, you know what? I spilt the milk. I'll clean it up, back up. But when you take responsibility for it, you start cleaning it, then you can fix it. If you say, these guys did this and these guys did this and they got to do it, that's fine. But I think we've stared at that for long enough. Look at what's going on in the U.S. right now. And you say, hey, you know what? I messed up. Can I fix it? Hand me the car keys. Hand me the broom. Hand me the rake. I'll clean it. And I know it'll be done right. What I'm trying to say in your own life, right? Just think about that. The house is a mess. Your parents are at work. Clean the whole house for your parents. Make it look awesome as possible. When they come in, they'll go, what happened? You're like, you know what? I had some extra energy and I felt like you guys worked really hard. So I felt like I'd clean the whole house for you. And, Mom, I checked your oil. You're fine. Whatever it is, I checked the air pressure in your tires. I just think it's really cool when you guys have this extra energy to try to do something positive with it. Okay. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I love you very, very much. I will continue to crush out here for you guys. Conscious Life LA, February 7th, 8th, and 9th. Hilton, LAX. We are at table C87, my brother and I, Alexander. And we have a free talk in Century D at 7 p.m. on Saturday, February 8th. Come see us. SedonaCosmicAwakening.com. Sedona Cosmic Awakening. I think we are halfway sold out right now. Come check it out, you guys. And if you guys come for a day or two, there's a lot of really cool workshops and things. And I'm working on a new trailer with me and Randy Kramer right now to share with you guys about some of his stuff he's going to be teaching. A lot of telekinetic stuff, X-Men stuff in his workshop. Definitely recommend coming out and getting that Sunday pass for all of us. Thunderbeat, Randy, Alexander, and I. But as we move forward, I just want you guys to know that I really appreciate interacting with you guys. I've been in multiple spaces, and it's difficult for me at times to... I'm working on becoming like a voice of reason for myself, and I'm being it's weird. This is what they're doing right now, my guides. I get questions in dream time now where I'm standing at a podium and it's like 5,000 people and it's like a CNN reporter asking me a really weird, gnarly question, like a fear question, and I have to absorb it and then answer it in the most positive way I can. Like they're challenging me with answer, well, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Who's to blame for this? And I'm sitting there on this podium and I'm answering these questions and I'm practicing my cadence of how to deliver what is coming from my heart that would really help. We're problem solvers down here, us indigos and these crystal kids and even our parents, right? But we are solution-based, programming. I don't like to point fingers at certain things. I like to find the solution and then move forward. Find the solution, move forward. Find the solution? We'll plant 1 trillion trees. You got plenty of drone pilots. Go nuts. Why don't we send some drones over to Australia and start locking and loaded with those little rounds they load in drones. You can plant like 1,000 seeds per drone. What I'm trying to say is we need to start working together and coming together. And I think Guy is giving this opportunity right now to actually go, hey, you guys, can you please take a look at what's going on down here? And, I just think that it's difficult for animals to speak, for themselves. And we need to stand up for them. And, they don't have a voice. And this is not like some goo goo gaga. I'm trying to say is like, if you understood that every sentient being on this planet that has a consciousness has a variation or a life lesson that they're learning. My hires taught me this. I was asking them about, animals and whatnot. And they said that, son, the animals are consciously at a lower platform, obviously, than a human. But please do not teach them poor things, because one day they will have the consciousness or evolve into that state. And do not teach them bad things or teach them pain or teach them suffering, because one day they will be in your shoes up the evolutionary ladder as we grow together. You have to understand that all these lower life forms at one point will be at your evolutionary state. Maybe that's too hard for some people to comprehend because your lifespan is so short. 100, 200 years. You're like a fruit fly compared to beings that have been around for billions of years. So I'm trying to say, ask to the depth of your soul and understand that you are the true reflection of the being that you would like to be. When someone's in the dark and a nightmare, there's nothing more awesome than me blowing through that world like a light mirror and grabbing them, throwing them over my shoulder and bouncing out of there like Iron Man as I concussion shake that entire thing into pieces. We are these beings upstairs. I'm just here to tell you that with obviously great power comes great responsibility, but I really want us to do better so we can have a better future, and we teach our friends and family and we treat our animals and our friends, in a more balanced way, so we don't replicate this loop that we've been running down here on the surface of this world. For God, you guys, it's been a while. I think the real loop that we've been doing, if it cycles every 25,923 years, you get 12, 21, 2200 year breaks per cycle and like a piece of pie. What I'm trying to say is that, most of us in this specific soul family or this graduating class, I would think it's more of a 3 cycle, right? About 65, 70,000 year loop for some of us. And I just want us to graduate, and I want all my friends and family to go home, and I want all my friends and family to be welcome home. And if you guys could remember the faces of your parents, your real parents, or the planets you left when you came here. Sometimes I remember my mom and my sister, and the whole place looks like Atlantis, and then add 100 million years of evolution on it. Everything's like white, golden towers and palaces, and everyone's really tall. Everyone that was like very tall. But I remember I said I'd be right back. And I don't know how old we are in this place, but when I said, hey, I have to go take care of this as part of my unit, my jobs unit, I'm going to go represent. It was a choice for me to come to this world. But let me tell you something. When I remember my mom, my sister's face off-world, far from here, and I'm remembering that right now in a 3D biological suit in the present talking to you, I'm trying to express, wait till you guys feel your heart really start pulling you home. When you actually really know, I'm not from here. 100,000%, I'm here to assist. I'm actually not from here. When you guys remember that stuff, remember this. We came here to assist this planet and do so in a balanced manner. And now is the thing. Us as these upper dimensional bigger beings coming in hot, right? Check it. There's a lot of lower dimensional beings that have never met a being like us before. So if they're seeing us for the first time, imagine how important is that first appearances, right, or everything. Imagine I'm dealing with some guys that haven't seen a being like me in quite some time, or they have never, right? And all of a sudden you show up and you're actually a really cool guy, and they thought you were going to be like this gnarly monster Hulk smash thing, and you're actually like cracking jokes and having a great time, going, how you guys enjoying this evolutionary run? It's kind of funny, huh? You guys having a good time? And they just go, whoa, I thought we heard stories about you, that you were the the worst. And I was like, no, I'm actually the nicest of my brothers. You're probably talking about that guy. I'm here to help out. What I'm trying to say is for the rest of that consciousness, you know, function as it moves forward, they're going to remember how you treated them. Not the stories, not the mythos, not the books, not all the this and stories, but how you treated someone else. And coming from your heart and what that did. And how you could change someone's interpretation of you just by you being in a good mood and putting your best foot forward and at least showing them the due response and, you know, heart that you possibly could. Okay? That's all I wanted to share. It's not easy to do, mind you. I know I'm in Sedona, in a dense area. It's much harder to do that. I'm just trying to say the goal is to work on becoming that balanced being that enters the field, that shines that light that everyone looks up to. And you guys each have a higher self that's just like that for you. Don't look to me, look in here to yourself. Inside of you guys. You guys are the A-team. You know what I mean? Alpha Omegas. So inside your heart, your higher selves, your highest light, that version of you, look to your heart to remind you which way is home. Whew, that was a mouthful. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I love you so much. You guys have a blessed day. You guys want some sessions before I have to leave for Conscious Life LA or Tucson? Let me know. Or some new gear. Check out store.teamlight.com. For Alexander and his protective gear, check out crystalcurrent.com. And, you know, it's been an absolute pleasure being with you guys here today. And this is moving a lot faster than you think. Just hold space. And when you guys need to ground, make sure you do that in balance, okay? All right, I love you guys. You guys have a blessed week, and I'll see you guys next weekend. Peace.